How was your night last night?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Say what's up to the vlog.
The vlog it.
How do you feel like last night beating Jake Paul?
What's the name of the vlog? KJ Camp. Shout out to the KJ Camp supporter.
Thank you. Appreciate it, dog.
Nice talk, baby. How are you?
Oh, sorry.
I'm a little fucked up, but will you take care of me forever and ever?
Logan Paul shoved Anthony Joshua after a shocking visit involving Jake Paul. Joshua had arrived at the hospital to check on Jake following his brutal knockout, but what was meant to be a calm visit quickly turned chaotic. An angry and protective Logan pushed Joshua out, sparking tension and leaving everyone stunned by the explosive clash.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Good, man.
Anthony Joshua had just reached Jake Paul, checking on him after the shocking KO and showing respect despite the chaos. But Logan Paul, still fuming, couldn't control himself. Like a territorial mutt, he snapped and charged, shoving Joshua away in an attempt to assert dominance. What should have been a quiet hospital visit exploded into raw, unfiltered madness.
Yo, doing me, man?
Tension in the hallway hit a boiling point as Anthony Joshua moved forward with calm authority. Logan Paul, driven by anger and desperation, tried to assert himself, but security quickly intervened and restrained him. Joshua's sheer presence took over the moment, turning what should have been a quiet visit into a dramatic show of power and control. Duke McKenzie didn't hold back, openly calling out both Paul brothers. Logan's furious behavior came off as amateurish and desperate, while Jake, still reeling from the KO, appeared powerless. In sharp contrast, Anthony Joshua projected dominance and control, turning the moment into a clear display of authority. The brothers' humiliation couldn't have been more public or complete.
Everybody knows he's not a real boxer. There's levels to this game, and he was way out of his level.
Logan Paul's own words exposed him. He rambled about his brother's broken jaw, trying to hide the embarrassment, but every sentence only showed how outmatched they were. Anthony Joshua stayed calm and precise, dismantling the Paul brothers without breaking a sweat. Logan's frustration just deepened the humiliation, turning his show of dominance into a clear spectacle of defeat.
I just pissed him off, then he broke my brother's jaw. Fuck. His jaw, huh? Yeah, he's supposed to jaw straight. Yeah? He don't care though, Jake's having a fucking...
Carl Froch didn't hold back, perfectly capturing the chaos as it unfolded. The Paul brothers looked lost, scrambling like amateurs, while Anthony Joshua moved with ice-cold precision. Every glance, every step radiated authority. Froch's disbelief mirrored the audience's own. How can anyone compete with that level of dominance? The moment was equal parts masterclass and meltdown.
To go from here, what does he do? I'm not even arsed, man. I can't be arsed with this bullshit anymore, this clown world. It's a joke shop. It's just a big fucking...
Duke McKenzie made it brutally clear that the Paul brothers' bravado had been shattered. Jake's broken jaw stood as the ultimate reminder that actions have consequences, and Logan's anger couldn't hide his helplessness. Anthony Joshua, calm and methodical, had engineered a public takedown far beyond the ring, leaving everyone questioning how anyone could possibly stand against him now.
Did that to him, because now he won't be able to talk like he does for a while.
Eddie Hearn highlighted a rare glimpse behind Anthony Joshua's calm facade. Usually unshakable, Joshua showed a brief flicker of irritation as Logan Paul tried to provoke him. Even then, his authority dominated the room, every movement measured and precise. Logan's antics looked amateurish beside a champion whose mere presence commanded control.
Push was, listen, we've seen worse, you know what I mean? But lively, and what followed actually was one of the few times that I've seen Anthony Joshua unravel, if you like, because normally he's very composed, but you can't be composed when a man's talking to you.
Johnny Nelson summed it up perfectly. Jake Paul got the harshest reality check imaginable, walking and thinking he could handle Anthony Joshua, only to be completely overpowered and exposed. Logan Paul's failed theatrics only added to the embarrassment, making the brothers look like amateurs scrambling in the shadow of a true champion. Joshua's calm precision and dominance left no doubt. He wasn't just facing Jake, he was dismantling the entire Paul narrative. This wasn't a win in the ring, it was a psychological and reputational knockout for both brothers.
Have a reality check. And that's what he actually did, because Jake Paul himself said, I was shattered. You know, this guy, everything I thought.
Vitaly Riley emphasized why Joshua's impact extends far beyond the fight. While Jake and Logan Paul floundered, Joshua's victory wasn't just about defeating an opponent, it was a statement to the entire boxing world. Every move displayed skill, authority, and composure. The Paul's antics looked childish, completely overshadowed by Joshua's dominance. He didn't just win, he reinforced his legacy, expanded his influence, and left the Pauls scrambling to stay relevant in a story they were already losing.
AJ's win today was the exposure to more people. Even though he's mad famous, as we know, like, there's a community he hasn't touched, and I think he touched that community today.
Eddie Hearn highlighted the calculated brilliance of Joshua's performance. Jake Paul's evasive tactics only delayed the inevitable. Joshua's patience and precision made the final knockout unavoidable. That crushing shot that broke Jake's jaw wasn't just physical, it was a public display of superiority. Logan's failed attempts to intervene or protect his brother only deepened the humiliation. Joshua's dominance was so complete that even toughness couldn't stop the Pauls from looking small, incompetent, and completely outmatched.
A couple of rounds to get hold of him, and then he knocked him spark out and broke his jaw. It was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much.
Johnny Nelson made a sharp observation: facing Joshua was a reality check for the Pauls. Neither Jake nor Logan showed growth as fighters, they were publicly exposed for who they truly are. Joshua's superior skill, composure, and strategy highlighted the gap between a seasoned champion and social media sensations pretending to box. Every failed tactic and desperate move by the Pauls underscored their lack of readiness. This wasn't just a win, it was a career-defining statement that humiliated the Pauls on every level, proving hype can never match true talent.
His career, for his bank account, everything, for his development. I don't think he did anything for his development because he didn't have somebody in front of him that wanted to test his.
Duke McKenzie dissected the Pauls' mindset perfectly. From the opening bell, it was clear Jake Paul's approach wasn't about skill, it was pure survival. He ran, retreated, and tried to avoid the inevitable like a scared novice in a lion's den. Logan Paul's desperate posturing outside the ring only added to the humiliation, making the brothers look incompetent at every turn. Anthony Joshua, meanwhile, displayed true mastery and dominance. He patiently dismantled his opponent, letting Jake wear himself out before delivering the decisive blow. This wasn't just a fight, it was a demonstration of superior skill, intelligence, and control. Joshua didn't need theatrics, his presence alone dictated the pace and outcome. The Pauls' reputation suffered a major blow, proving that hype and social media bravado can never match genuine talent in the ring.
Paul knew exactly what his tactics would be going into that fight. He was in there just to survive. He wasn't in there to win. He didn't even try to win. He couldn't win. So when you know your mindset, you know in your mind's eye, I can't win that fight. What do? I've got to survive. How do I survive?
Eddie Hearn made it clear, Jake Paul never stood a chance. Survival was all he could hope for, and even that was unlikely. He moved frantically, holding, retreating, and desperately trying to stretch the fight. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua controlled the pace with surgical precision, proving why he's in a league of his own. Logan Paul's failed interventions and posturing outside the ring only added to their humiliation. Joshua's dominance was total, every feint, step, and punch sent a clear message. Hype and bravado mean nothing against a true champion. The Pauls' narrative of toughness collapsed completely, leaving fans and analysts stunned at the gap in class.
Had one job, and that was to try and survive. I mean, he was never ever going to win the fight, ever. And if you would have said to me, do I think he'll go 6 rounds? I would have said absolutely not. I mean, I felt that it would take AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, because I knew Jake can move a bit and he'd be moving.
Spencer Oliver summed it up perfectly. Anthony Joshua controlled the fight with the poise and precision of a master strategist. Jake Paul, despite frantic movement and occasional punches, was nothing more than a pawn in Joshua's plan. Joshua let him flail like a trapped rabbit, conserving energy and waiting for the perfect moment. The crushing punch that broke Jake's jaw in 2 places came from calculated patience, not desperation. Logan Paul's antics outside the ring only added to the humiliation, making both brothers look incompetent and completely exposed. Fans witnessed a textbook display of ring control, timing, and psychological dominance. Joshua didn't just win, he dismantled every ounce of hype around the Pauls, proving that social media bravado can never replace true skill. Every movement sent a clear message: Anthony Joshua is in a league far beyond the Pauls, and any attempt to challenge him publicly or theatrically only magnifies their embarrassment.
He needed to get the job done inside the distance, and he done it. Look, he could have done it at any given point. I think that he could have cut the ring off whenever he wanted to and got Jake Paul out of there. He took his time on that. He allowed Jake Paul to run around like a rabbit and throw the occasional shot from time to time, and I think he only landed 1 clean punch, didn't he, Anthony Joshua?
Simon Jordan perfectly captured the spectacle and absurdity of the event. While Netflix audiences enjoyed high-octane entertainment, the reality was harsh. Jake Paul's frantic antics and Logan's failed interventions left the brothers humiliated on a global stage. Anthony Joshua's dominance went beyond the physical, it was psychological. He controlled the ring, dictated the pace, and made every flailing move from Jake look amateurish. Even skeptics couldn't ignore his clinical execution. The Paul's overhype, social media bravado, and desperate theatrics crumbled completely, leaving them exposed and irrelevant. This wasn't just a victory, it was a total dismantling of their credibility, a public lesson in skill, composure, and strategy. Joshua's authority resonated far beyond the ropes, proving that height cannot rival true mastery. Every punch, feint, and calculated step reinforced the gap between the world champion and the overhyped siblings, cementing Joshua's supremacy and leaving the Pauls to face their shattered reputation.
Wonderful content, and Jake Paul runs around doing what Jake Paul does. So everybody wins, and only the people that don't win are the people that go, well, look at, and even the people that think Anthony Joshua is a busted flush now go.
Anthony Joshua's performance wasn't just a win, it was a statement to the entire boxing world. Jake Paul's frantic movements and Logan Paul's desperate theatrics outside the ring only highlighted how outmatched they were. Joshua controlled the pace, cut the ring with precision, and waited for the perfect moment to land a crushing blow, leaving Jake with a broken jaw and both brothers' credibility in tatters. Fans weren't just watching a fight, they were witnessing a masterclass in dominance, strategy, and composure. Every punch, feint, and calculated step reinforced Joshua's supremacy while exposing the Pauls as overhyped amateurs relying on social media stunts instead of real skill. The question is clear, can Logan and Jake Paul ever recover from this public humiliation, or is their hype permanently shattered?